and welcome to another Cliff's List webinar interview. Today, my special guest is my longtime great friend, Steve Piccus, also known as Steve P in the game by Neil Strauss. And most of you probably have heard of him in the past, but now you're going to get some hands-on direct information from the man himself. Steve and I go back a really long time. I was originally introduced to him by David D'Angelo, Evan Pagan. I believe it when I came down to LA, and Evan was all excited about having me meet Steve. I remember that. And, it's been probably, almost 20 years that we know each other now. And Steve comes up to visit me here in Montreal on a regular basis. And I'd love to go down to San Diego more often and see him, but I haven't been traveling that much myself. In any event, Steve, maybe you want to tell people a little bit about yourself for those who don't know you or not really familiar with you and what you do in general.
Okay. Like you mentioned, I'm Steve P from the game, but there's, a lot of other stuff that I do. Like lately, what I've been involved with is working more with women, teaching them about how to take physical sexuality and bring it into sensuality. But I teach women, couples, and guys who really care about being in longer term relationships, how to actually improve relationships, and part of that work also includes like when people are all fucked up about having got out of a real toxic or shitty relationship. And so I help people resolve that. And it's really strange because like over the last 4 or 5 years, a lot of people that were in longer term relationships, like 3 to over 20 years, have been coming to me because their mate no longer wants to be their mate. Just all of a sudden, like, no, I have other things to do. Fuck off. I mean, some of them are a little bit nicer than that, but it's the same fucking thing. So a lot of it's been like helping people resolve traumatic bonding and weird fuck relationships that if they would have been smart about it, they would have seen the shit coming a long time ago. But people live in a constant state of denial. A lot of the stuff I'm working on right now is with the sacred. We teach women about sacred sensuality. What we teach guys also is, if guys are serious about this, is how to be involved in sacred sensuality. For men and women, what ends up happening is, if you aren't very good at sex or you're not having very good sex, it becomes, instead of sexual activity only being like maybe 6 to 10% of what a relationship is, it becomes you become absorbed in the fucking thing because you're not having it. It's like if you're real fucking hungry, you'll eat anything, because you just fucking need you need to input something. So what we do is in our sacred sensuality course, basically what we do is we teach people how to first take care of the physical part, the sexual part. And like I said, I work with women mainly, but guys that want to learn how to do this with women come into some of our hands-on trainings, but set that aside. So basically the 3 sensual centers are sensual shamanism. There's a greeting that says, how are your 3 centers? What that means is, how is your sex life? How is your emotional life? And how is your head? How's your mental? Mainly because if one of those is out of balance, you're going to be fucked up. Like if some bitch is fucking with your head, or you're fucking with some bitch's head, their head's going to be fucked up, their heart's going to be fucked up, and they ain't going to be into the sex. But the other thing is, if people we're basically combining all these 3 centers. When you get all 3 of those centers coming together, what ends up happening is your life is imbalanced. When one of those centers is out, you're out of harmony with yourself and what your purpose is. And there's science that backs this stuff up. It's like really fucking cool shit. But anyways, what we do is when women come in, they think they want to just learn how to squirt, or they just want to learn how to have better orgasms. And when all they've had is those little girl orgasms, or the ones they learned as little kids, they're fucked up and frustrated about it. Some women don't even think their pussies work. It's fucking crazy. But once they learn that they can squirt and have toe curling orgasms, what ends up happening is then they go, they want to come, to catch up on lost fucking sex or some shit. And so what ends up happening after that happens, after enough of the physical all of a sudden, you got to understand the separation here. Men are basically physical creatures. Women are emotional creatures. However, when women aren't having their physical demands met, they become physical because they need to get that. Once that becomes balanced, they become emotional creatures. So it's like really cool shit, man. But here's why this works. If this gets too fucking scientific and nerdy on you, I apologize up front. But here's what the deal is. There's a thing called sensual neurology. There's a thing called what they call CN-X, which stands for cranial nerve 10. Cranial nerve 10 is more commonly known as the vagus nerve. And here's where it gets real fucking cool. The thing with the vagus nerve is vagus in Latin means wandering. So it's the wandering nerve. What they've discovered is the power of this fucking incredible nerve is this. It works out of the parasympathetic nervous system. But what ends up happening here is it's the one source that goes from the brain stems all the way out into every organ of the body. Now, what's really fucking cool about that, and what we do with White Tiger Tantra is, see, people think Tantra is, oh, I'm going to learn how to hold a hard on for 6 hours and, just power fuck this woman, blah, blah, blah. Okay, that's great. That's not what Tantra is. Tantra is setting aside the penetration and learning how, in the Taoist form of what they call love play, is it's learning how to awaken every what they call pleasure points, or in the West they call them erogenous zones, but they're hidden. And some of them are there in plain view, but they're fucking dormant. So what ends up happening with this is when you learn how to because they run along the energy channels of the body, like in acupressure. So as you start working through these meridians and stuff, what ends up happening though is you'll discover, because each person you work with is unique. Some of them will be right where nerves gather, like wherever you bend an elbow, a knee, the neck, places like that. But when you're working with your partner and you discover these things, what's really fucking essential is pay attention to where her real fucking oh yeah fucking points are. And that's before you even get into any of the penetration stuff. Now, this might be getting a little too woo-woo for you fuckers, but if you want something that's going to be a sustained relationship, then it'll serve you well to learn some of this stuff. Here's why. There's a thing called, in neuroscience, there's a thing called synaptic pruning. What synaptic pruning is, let me give you another analogy. When we had the drought down here, I live in San Diego, and we have these incredible orchards just filled with all kinds of wonderful avocados, all kinds of avocados. If you like avocados, it's wonderful. If you don't, maybe it's not so fucking wonderful. But anyways, back during the drought, like a couple years ago, we had a drought for about 4 or 5 years. Water prices went way up. So the farmers went in and they pruned back all the way down to the stumps, these massive orchards of avocados. What ended up happening is they painted some stuff on the top of it to protect the stump from the sun exposure and all this other stuff, and to protect it. Now that we're out of the drought, or at least pretty much out of it, they've cut that off, and for the last 2 years we've been back. We had a lot of water come in from El Niños and stuff. But anyways, what ended up happening is the water started coming in, and now the branches are back and the orchards are at production. I don't know if it's at full production, but they're producing again. Now, how this relates to your mind, the thing is that if you aren't having sex, you're only thinking about physical desires. The thing is, once you learn how to be decent at sex, then you want to bring some emotion into it, and then your mind and heart will blend together. And let me tell you something. If you're single and you're just kind of having casual affairs, if your girlfriends that you're having casual affairs aren't referring other women to you because they need to be fucked really good, you're not a good fuck. You better learn some skills. Get some skills up. I don't give a fuck what you learn. I mean, I don't give a fuck if you learn from my stuff or somebody else's stuff. If you're going to learn White Tiger Tantra, come to us and learn it, because a lot of these guys that are saying they're teaching White Tiger Tantra are only teaching yank on the twat, jerk it up and down. The reality is that'll work, and you might get some women to have that. But what you're going to also do is you're going to create some emotional deficits there, mainly from we teach about how to get the genitals, the heart, and the mind together as one. It's not just about the physical. And some of these guys are teaching, oh, this is everything White Tiger Tantra is. And to them, it's true. But shut up, get the fuck out of here. I got things interrupting me while I'm talking. So anyways, guys, take time to learn how to satisfy your lovers. And here's why. When you do that, nothing builds incredible power and self-confidence like sensual knowledge and sensual wisdom, but also nothing will build your confidence like being sexually competent. When you go from sexually competent to sensually aware and competent, it changes the whole world, because you're going to develop, instead of just fuck buddies, you're going to develop a lot closer relationship. Now, I don't care if you just want fuck buddies. Have fuck buddies. That's fine. I don't tell any adult man or woman what the fuck to do unless they're acting like assholes, and I just say, get the fuck out. But the thing is, the person who holds the strongest frame is going to run that fucking environment. So if you're thinking, oh, well, I need to let her because she's got equal rights and blah, blah, blah. Fuck you, man up, quit acting like a fucking pussy. You know, women don't want to come to a man to have some guy just, oh, hi, let me open the door, let me do this. I mean, they'll do that and they'll put up with that shit. But like I said, I've been working with a hell of a lot more women lately, and they fly in from Europe and all that. You don't need to believe me. Go to my YouTube channel, Punchin' White Tiger Tantra, and watch the women talk about how the vagina mechanics gave them back their pussy, did all these fucking incredible things and blah, blah, blah. The truth is, we know where the pressure points are, but we also know how to bring it, that when they have these, like once you start releasing them physically, there's a thing that Dr. Wilhelm Reich talked about was sexual and emotional armoring. And because women are emotional creatures, they have a lot of stuff. It's like where they hold the world at an arm's distance. The problem with that is, once they get their physical stuff satisfied, then they want to be able to bond much more closer. And if they're busy holding the world at an arm's distance, they're also holding themselves an arm distance from the world. So the thing is that what we first teach is how to get the three sensual centers, the genitals, the heart, and the mind together, to where they're in harmony and balance with each other. That opens a portal to where they can go into this moment of like this satori. It's like where they want to get into much deeper levels. Now, let me give you a warning here. Some women have come in, I've taken them in, I've trained them, I've taught them how to have discovery, sex magic, and some of the sacred sensuality. Then what they did was they decided to go back and start going to, wanting to be single, or, maybe they were just a client. And once we awaken the physical part, the physical center, what we end up doing is we say, before you go to the next, make sure this is what you want, because you're going to want a pair bond with one guy. In my life, I have, at any time, I have like 4 to 7 women. And people go, well, why do you need that many? I go, I don't need any of the fuckers. That's the point. They want to be with me, because they get to open their feminine. They get to be the way of the water woman instead of all these fucking macho women that are walking around. Now, that's not all women, because there's different kinds of women out there. Some women, just like some guys, just want to have casual relationships. Some want to be, passed around for uncomplicated. They want to be a receptacle for uncomplicated desires, no strings attached and all that. The problem is with women, when they start shutting off all their emotional desire, they become hardened. So, and like, for instance, like over the last 2 months, or maybe a little bit longer, maybe 2.5 months, 4 different women that learned to squirt came to me, and because I'm still friends with a lot of them. I don't mean we're fuck buddies, I mean we're friends. And they come in and they go, like one, just 2 weeks ago, I talked with her and she goes, yeah, this is great. Now I get to have these great orgasms. And I started this relationship with this guy and we have great sex. But now that I brought up How about if we try to make this an emotional attachment? He goes, no, no, no. This is supposed, you're the one who said it's only going to be a casual relationship, no strings attached. And she's kind of upset about it. I go, well, wait a minute. Think of it like this. Have you ever planted carrots, grown a garden and planted carrots or cabbage? She goes, no, but I catch what you're saying. I go, okay, imagine you plant carrots and cabbage. They come up and you go, fuck, I wanted a lemon tree. You ain't getting a lemon tree if you're planting fucking goddamn carrots and cabbage. You're going to get carrots and cabbage. So be happy with what the fuck you get. The thing is, this person, you like the way the physicalness, the sex is. The thing is, once you start bringing emotion in and you start bringing in these sensual centers, you're going to have a sensual awakening that becomes much more profound. Once you start making love instead of just fucking, all of a sudden, you're not going to want to just fuck, because if you just fuck, you're going to start feeling like you're empty inside. And like with this woman, when I told her, I go, look, hey, so you've learned to squirt, you're having great orgasms, what are you going to do? And she developed feelings because after the physical was satisfied time and time again, she didn't have to guess whether she was going to get cheated out of an orgasm or fake an orgasm or if it was going to be real. She actually got to be that full woman in that center. When she started getting emotional and cuddly and all this, he goes, you're clinging, cut it out. And so that cut her off to where she went back to just doing the physical. And I go, look it, I don't care if you want to do just the physical or you want to have an emotional connection. If you're with somebody you want to know, that you want to know your heart and your spirit and your mind, and they only want to fuck you, you know, maybe you're with the wrong person, but you can't blame them. You're the one who set that up to learn from that. You're the one who said it's only going to be this. I know as humans, we're creatures who change a fuck of a lot. That's cool, man. But maybe you need to go out and be a little bit more honest now that you know that you can have the physical. Go out and find somebody that wants to also be involved on a different level. I'm not saying that it's better or it's worse. What I'm saying, it's a different level. You know, you get out of a relationship what you put into it. And having said that, I've known some people that have come to me that used to be in the swingers, that now they call themselves these polyamorous or some shit. And I got nothing against the polyamorous. I don't like the ones that are deceitful pieces of shit, but I don't like the heterosexuals that are deceitful pieces of shit either. You know, I just don't like, there's no reason to be mean, you know? And anyways, what I do with them is I find out find out what you want in your relationship. I'm talking to you guys, and if there's women listening, figure out what the fuck you want too. In my experience, there's basically a couple different kinds of women. Women that want to have sex with you and women that don't want to have sex with you. And the women that don't want to have sex with you, that doesn't always mean they don't want to have sex with you. That means at that moment in time, they don't. Now, understand this. Just because a woman doesn't want to have sex with you, I've seen guys just go, oh, well, fuck the bitch, get rid of her. That's a stupid thing. What I do is I bring them right in. I hear this stupid shit in the community about, oh, no, you can't get in the friend zone. Fuck, I love the fucking friend zone, man. I mean, the thing is, I don't need to fuck my friends. What I do is I bring and this is an old concept, but it works really good. Like when I was going through my degree in community psychology, they talk about building social circles, and that's how we are as humans. That's the animal part of us. We've always learned to move in groups like that. The point is that what you want to do is take these women that you don't think it's going to be, and it's not always their choice. You may find a woman, she looks really fucking awesome. Got one of them really nice yoga bodies or Pilates or whatever the fuck she's doing and blah, blah, blah. But there's just something that ain't there. All it would be physical. Take her and put her into the friend zone. And I don't mean in a nasty way, just have her, accept her as a good friend, a good quality human, put her in there. And then when you start building your social circles, and I don't know, I haven't been on one of these chats in a long time, but if you guys aren't familiar with social groups, man, you could do so fucking much with them. Like what you do is you bring them, and like I teach a lot of, part of what we teach in Sacred Sensuality is the spiritual warrior path, which is a lot of the metaphysical stuff, into a perfect union with the left-hand path, which is the physical path of love and sex. And when they come together in a perfect union, it opens up this sense of being where two can become one. And it's like what I was talking about with these poly people. Some friends of mine that used to be in the poly community decided, they came to me, by the way. I don't go out recruiting fuckers because I charge too much for that shit. But they go out, they find me, they go, hey man, we found each other in a poly thing, a poly meetup, whatever the fuck they call it. And but we have these feelings that are deep for each other. I go, yeah, you got past the sex, now you're wanting to get into the heart. They go, wow, it's like you understand this. I go, it's a physical, human, emotional thing, dude. And so what I did was I went through this chakra cleansing and all this other stuff that probably sounds like really fucking woo-woo to all you fuckers, but that's okay too. Anyways, these people, this one couple now, they decided instead of being passed around as receptacles for uncomplicated desires, they decided that they wanted to do a pair bonding. And they've been together like, I think 6 years now, at least 5 years. And they're still soulmates. You know, a lot of people do this shit about where they go, oh no, we've gone from Anam Kara, which is soul friends, to soulmates. But then they end up going from soulmates to cellmates. God damn it, we're going to make this fucking shit work. No. Here's the deal. Either get along or send them along. You know, it's real simple. You only got so much sand in your fucking hourglass, and that's your life, man. Why would you want to spend one fucking day with somebody you got to make miserable or they're going to make you miserable? I don't mean, oh, she goddamn didn't put the toilet seat up again. Motherfucker, I'm throwing the bitch out. Get a little bit more real than that, dude. It's like, overall, does this person enhance your life, or do they cause you just a bunch of drama and trauma and bullshit? If they do, get rid of it. You know, it's like sometimes lovers can be like a fart. You know, the longer you hold on to that one that's just big and nasty, the more it fucking hurts. Sometimes you got to just lift a leg and cut a good one loose. Let the air clear. Go find somebody else that wants to know you. The other thing is, if you get these fucking crazy women who want to come into your life and start changing who you are, you know, tell them to fuck off. I mean, you're a full grown ass man. And the thing is, act like a full grown ass man. Don't be trying to change them, and be straight up with what the fuck you want. Listen, what I've discovered is you got women that are like, you have women that either want to be with one man or multiple men. And in the multiple men, you have women that want to have just kind of casual type of relationships. You have other women that just like, wow, I'm learning to get fucked good. And they want to be like porcupines, you know? I mean, they walk around more pricks than a porcupine. That doesn't mean judge them. I mean, I know guys that are sluts like that too. Be what it is. I don't give a fuck. The thing is, but realize that you may change from these casual relationships, and these women may change from these casual relationships. Now, if you have women that want to be with one man, a lot of them either want to be a top or a bottom. They want to be the dominant one in the relationship, or they want to be the fucking submissive. I'm way too much of a dominant guy to listen to any of that other shit. And the third position with these women is, some women go, oh no, I'm a submissive, and they want to top from the bottom. You see that a lot in these poly communities. Oh no, I'm just the innocent little girl. That's my man. He makes the decisions. Yeah, right. I see which way this shit's going. So the thing is, find out, are you the guy you want, you know, somebody who's going to be mother hen running your shit around, telling you what the fuck to do? Or are you going to be a man and man the fuck up and be the fucking dominant? I'm definitely a dominant man. There ain't no two fucking ways about it. I also from the BDSM community, you always interview the women. And I'm going to tell you this, there's so many motherfuckers getting arrested over stupid shit now. Before you ever even think about physical sex with women, find out what they want, find out if it matches what you want. Then have a contract written in handwriting and do it on a video recording. And have them agree with the AV release that you own the rights to that, and that you know this is what she said she wanted, and don't go past that. You know, if she wants to be tied up, blindfolded, and teased from pleasures, you know, that from leathers to feathers, all the pleasures she can stand, fucking wonderful. But get it in writing. Don't try to get extra creative, you know. And when women know that you're being real straight on about it, man, you got to be like kind of like with a poker face. Like, because they'll tell you shit that you thought, oh God, she's a nice, cute little blah, blah, blah girl, XYZ. And she'll be talking about how she wants to be tied up. These days, because ever since 50 Shades of Grey, these women go, I had a woman show up here, it's probably been about 8 months ago. I was training her. And she saw my fighting sticks. I got these these hog canes. And she saw my hog cane by my front door, so in case I have an intruder, I have something to welcome him with. And she went, oh my God, that's a cane. Would you cane me? I go, first of all, that ain't what they cane people with in BDSM. That's what you break bones. And this is a tall Asian lady. I go, and with you ain't got like some big Hispanic ass or nothing with cushion, darling. You know, you get a couple good whacks with this thing, you're going to get a, fucking real bad bone bruise, if not something broken. And she goes, oh, well, can you show me the canes? And, I got a wide assortment of little pleasure toys, let's call them. And anyways, I go, no, because you didn't put that shit down. And they have to write me out and mail a handwritten letter, plus they have to type it and email it and sign a release that I own every piece of communication, whether it's a text message, an email, a video, an audio recording. I own it all, because that way I have it and my attorneys have a copy of it. I don't have time for this bullshit like, oh, he made me bend over and drilled me in the ass. Oh, shut the fuck up. It's what you said you wanted. You can't do it in the heat of the passion. We're fucking in a litigious society, which means you could get fucked. So sign the shit. With this girl that wanted to be caned, what ended up happening was, I go, I have no problem doing this, but you need to go back. Next trip down, she'd come down about every 4 weeks, sometimes 3 weeks, sometimes 5 weeks, but on an average about once a month. And when she was back at home, we did another video recording, and she says, I really want to get in. I'm very interested in BDSM. I go, what level do you want to go to? And, she put it all on the video. I go, now you got to write that in. And I make them sign out this thing that's called a request for sexual training with Steve P. And so what they do with that is, I own it in their handwriting. I own it on video. Cover your ass, fellas, and women, cover your ass too if you're with other women, because all of a sudden people love it and all that, when they feel they're scorned or no longer going to be, they get all involved, then they get all pissy and say you took advantage of them. Well, if this agreement is set in action legally before you got, I'm not a lawyer, talk to your own lawyers in whatever fucking areas you live in around the world, but what I'm going to tell you is this will help you, because you own all rights to that video. They show you in the fucking, you have a video. I have this one girl that goes, I want to be spanked. I want to be abused. I want to put a butt plug in. I want to put a pig nose in. I want you to pee on my head. I went, Jesus Christ. I mean, this is a chick who's a model. I'm just going, you can't believe the shit these women say. It's just fucking, just fucking insane. Anyways, figure out what kind of relationship, not that you'll see. Most guys still are doing this pussy bullshit about, wow, maybe she likes me. Fuck you. Her opinion of you isn't your fucking problem, and other people's. Look, I got some of the 3 lady friends I have. We don't go out too often because I only see them maximum twice a month. Usually it's only once a month. Otherwise they start building too many heart connections and want to get in. They're not going to be, what it is 2 of them are single moms. The other one's a graduate student. Now, the thing is that if you start with a relationship like this and it's only a part-time thing and you know it and they know it, you can have a casual relationship, but if you start doing it more than once or twice a month, heartstrings are going to get attached, either from you to her or her to you. So what I do is, I have my other rules about how I deal with the single moms. Like, I don't meet their kids. We don't go into public because I'm kind of famous and people want to, for some fucking reason, take pictures of me and the girls that I'm out with. Another weird fucking thing that happens is, because I date, usually, I don't give a fuck how old a woman is as long as she's not a bitch. But basically, some of these women especially, but some guys too, they're dicks too. They come up and they go, oh my God, that's Steve P. Is that your dad? And they bite their finger and go, no, but sometimes he lets me call him daddy. And if I'm a good girl, he'll spank me when I get home. These fucking people throw a shit fit and go storming out. I mean, they're the ones who are trying to twat block me and my friend. What the fuck is their problem? You know, I mean, either way, and these girls are very creative about how to get people fucking, you know, move them along their way. Anyways, if you're going to learn some form of tantra, I don't give a fuck if you use my shit or somebody else's shit. Go in and take the time to learn. It's not about the sex. It is about the sex at the first level. But the thing that's going to build long-term relationships. Oh, let me tell you this. These 3 women, I didn't go sorting for them. All 3 of them, I've known them probably the shortest period of time is 3 years. The single moms, probably about 6 or 7 years. But I don't mess. Here's the thing. I'm kind of like, as these other people say, I'm very vanilla and all that shit. I don't fuck other people's old ladies. I don't fuck other people's girlfriends. I'm in the business of helping love, real, you know, amorous relationships be enhanced. And the thing is, what's the best you can do for fucking somebody else's old lady? You know, fuck up a relationship, and, you know, it's whatever the fuck it is. But also, what if you decide you want to really start loving this thing? Well, all of a sudden, whether it's a guy or a girl, whatever the fuck relationship it is, if they cheated on one person, I know when you think you're King Salami or Queen of the Salamis, you know, it's like you think, no, but I'm different. I'm special. We're all special when we first start fucking someone new because it's unfamiliar. But once it turns into a regular scene, you know, whether it's a BDS scene or a domestic scene or whatever the fuck you lay out, brings me to another point. If you're not the one laying out the rules of the environment, you're going to be following somebody else's rules. A man makes up the decision and he lays it out. If you don't like that, then fine. Be happy with the decisions a woman makes. But quit the whining and bitching about she made you do this, she made you do that. You know, either man the fuck up, or, you know, just tolerate what the fuck you get. Okay, I got women that like to top. They don't even want to be around me. Most women around me understand they're going to be bottoms, which means they're submissive. Now, in my life, these women that are single right now, they are. I don't know if they're bisexual or not because they just come over. I started telling you about this. Every one of them called me up. They asked me about booty calls. I don't do booty calls. I go, look, man, if all you're looking for is somebody to sling meat, and, you know, I got some of my coaches in town. Anytime I have like 4 to 7 or 8 coaches in town because we do different trainings. I go, let me hook you up with them. They'll be happy to doink you. You know, I don't do that. And every one of these girls go, wait a minute, what are you talking about? You're not attracted to me. I go, we're friends. I don't want to fuck up our friendship. It's back to that friend zone thing, right? Excuse me. I go, I'm friends with you, you know, just to go sling meat and wow, let's have an orgasm and then it's not going to work out, then I lose your friendship. It's not worth it to me. They go, well, no, but if you don't do booty calls, what do? I go, here's the deal. Here's my rules on this. If you want to come over, we'll cook some food. We'll hang out. We can watch a movie. I have a great TV and all this shit, but I'm too busy working on my fucking blog to be watching TV. These times that I take 3 to 4 hours to be with these ladies is like, you know, I got a little fucking goddamn fireplace. We make some fresh ginger tea with Myers lemon and mint leaf and shit, you know, and then we just kind of hang out like people that like each other because we're people that like each other. What the fuck? And sometimes they want to get frisky. Sometimes they just want to just hang out on the couch and, you know, just have another human to fucking be with. Another thing. I don't know what the age bracket is on this fucking this group or anything, but let me tell you something. There's a thing that happens to women. Not all women. These are generalizations. So if you're a woman listening to this and you get your panties in a twist, cough, pull them out of your ass, and shut the fuck up or get the fuck off the line. Here's the deal. Women, when they're like 26, 27, they're still okay. But once they get to that 27, 28, 29, they start freaking about age. They start freaking about like if their butt is if gravity is gonna suck down their tits and their ass, and you know, it's like holy fuck, the big 3 zeros coming. The 30, the 35, every birthday after 30 with a 0 and a 5, and you're going, oh well, those just must be those fucking biker bitches you hang out with, Steve. let me tell you, fuck you. These are women that go to college. Like, for instance, one is a doctor. I'm not going to go too much detail about her, but that's another thing. Like, if you're dealing with women that are teachers, nurses, doctors, don't put pictures of them up on Facebook and shit, because now they have facial recognition shit that could fuck, maybe not get them fired from their job, but like have everybody nudge them and shit. So, you know, at least fucking respect their fucking job and their privacy, guys. I mean, unless you're, you know, I don't give a fuck about anybody, and then you shouldn't be listening to my shit anyways. So, but anyways, let me see what else. I'm trying to look at my fucking notes while I'm doing this. You know, people go, well, what about people that have burned, you know, like a couple of these women that have come through my squirting stuff. Like let me give you this example. Out of these 4 women, 2 of them came back in, or just booked an appointment with me, because they'd gone from learning how to squirt, going out to be physical. And I don't know if it's in a new movie, maybe you guys are watching porn, but what happens is, I don't know if the guys are eating Viagra or whatever the fuck, but they're rough riding them. They're hard fucking these chicks. Some chicks like it, others don't. If you're a rough rider like that, let me tell you this: when they go and break down and start going into natal position and crying, they have some kind of vaginal trauma. Sometimes, and I don't go into why they're fucking freaking out, because that gives more reasons, and it reinforces that bullshit. Instead, when they come in and I help them resolve the conflict, we go into a contextual shift, which in plain English, it's like, how is this happening? Let me help you fucking resolve this stuff. And when I talk about vaginal trauma, it could be that they had a miscarriage. And because women are emotional creatures, they fucking feel like some part of them failed. I go, no, that's silliness. Get the stupid fuck thoughts out of there, unless you like torturing your fucking self. The other part is sometimes they might have had an abortion because they were a young girl and whatever the hell. Don't get into judging this shit, guys. Just leave it the fuck alone. And sometimes they might have had incest or rape. Who fucking knows? You don't want to go ask those fucking questions. You can get it from a contextual thing. If you understand how to do stuff like NLP or fucking hypnosis, you can go in and shift it. You'll know how to do it. Just get your training down. And do it as a friend. Don't do it like, oh, once I get done with this, I get to fuck it again. The point is that the thing with synaptic pruning is they might have done what Wilhelm Reich called armoring, and they emotionally detached, dissociated from whatever that vaginal trauma was. But as soon as somebody comes on and, you know, here they've learned how to finally have nice, beautiful orgasms, and now that they're having this fulfilled life, next thing you know, somebody hops on and starts just power fucking them. Well, if they'd been raped or if they had an abortion and it fucking feels that pain that they only felt at that time, the neurosynaptic area that was pruned now comes back full flow, and now they're fucking in natal positions. I mean, it happens all the fucking time, you know? And the guys that don't know how to do anything with it, they go, you're being emotional, get the fuck out of here. You know, that ain't helping the situation. You know, if you're going to be doing that, I mean, maybe it's your style just to prove how, you know, how hard you can fuck these bitches. Well, then good. But if you start having them where they're breaking down, crying and shit, you might want to learn something about hypnosis and how to help resolve traumatic bonding. I'm not saying become their psychologist. You don't need that bullshit either. What I'm saying is, if you're going to be, and some people only like to do rough sex. Fucking, I don't give a fuck. Do whatever you want, as long as you're not hurting other people and it's between consenting adults. That's my fucking take on this shit. There's, let me see. There's a thing about when you're getting into these fucking relationships, treat these fucking, whether you're a man or woman listening to this shit, I don't know, but go in and take the time to find out really what it is, and find out if you guys are pair bonding. Realize that relationships that go over 4 or 5 years, 10 years and all that, the same person that you're with changes. Like they say, it could be 7 times, it could be 14 or 15 times, because it's first the physical person that you're attracted to. Then next thing you know, it's the person that you're going to marry. It's going to be, and this is true for men and women, even though men are more macho about the fucking shit, unless they're real gentle about it. Fuck. Anyways, it becomes a woman who's going to be your wife. It becomes the I got an acronym for you. WIFE is will influence female exclusion. Anyways, sorry, shitty joke. Anyway, so I don't know. Maybe I pissed a lot of you off and you're already hung up and all that shit. But if you have information, let me see if I have any notes here that might be interested. Oh yeah. Thing about friend zones and social circles, let me tell you about this. Friend zones are fucking beautiful. And because I get my lady friends laid all the time. And there's some of them that have gone from my friends to being, actually we get intimate, or they want to learn sacred sensuality. But most of the time they come over, we do things like, we do weird stuff. Like last night I was out, we were out at the beach. We do, I'm a member of the Oklahoma Native American Church. And so during the new moon and the full moons and the changes of the seasons, we go out and we do our ceremonies, and we do rattles and prayer flutes, and we do different things, to honor the earth, the great grandmother ocean, and, all this stuff, way beyond the scope of what you guys probably even give a fuck about. But the thing is that find interesting, look at, part of it's going to be the physical stuff. Be an interesting motherfucker. Like the guy was it the beer commercial, the most interesting fucker in the world, and then they launched his ass up to the moon. I don't know what the fuck they did. I don't watch too much TV. But anyways, the fucking thing is, if all you want to do is just scoot their panties over, drill them, fill them, and spill them, that's okay too. That's an adult choice. Do that. But the point is when you start doing other things, and with these social circles, it's like one of the things is I found a whole lot of women, and okay, I live in Southern California. I have women driving down from fucking LA to come down here and do this. We also have people, I do like house parties where we're doing like Celtic soul gazing. So people just are talking to me now about wanting to do the guide hookup in the past life regressions. Anyway, we do like metaphysical, but also one of my coaches teaches how to do the cacao ceremony, where you make this fucking chocolate without making it too hot. You watch your temperatures, and it releases serotonin. Fucking women fucking eat this, and you watch your lips dilate, their eyes dilate, and they just go, what the fuck is this? It's releasing those free drugs of the body, man. It's fucking awesome shit. Maybe you're not interested in cacao or how to do it properly. But anyways, a couple of my coaches do that stuff, and they're fucking, and when we mention that to women, their eyes dilate instantly going, wow, you can teach us how to do it? I go, not me, my coaches will, and that's the other thing. Don't try to be the whole guy, the I am the king of this fucking thing. Share with your brothers and sisters in your circles, and have more people come in to this. I mean, I'm a musician too, so I bring some of these people together, and we do musical house parties, and it's like, find things that you are incredibly interested in, but that you can share without being an egotistical fuck. And all of a sudden you're going to find, like, I have one friend who likes going and doing plant searches, like for medicine plants out in the mountains. And now he has, 4 women that are going out with him I don't know what he does out there. It's none of my fucking business. But what I'm going to tell you is, when they go out there and he's showing them how to commune with plant spirit medicine. And, but it's like all of a sudden he's going, wow, I'm getting to hang out with these, a couple of Wiccans and this and that. And they're just like really down to earth fucking people. Well, it's down to earth because you ain't there sitting at a fucking club trying to get some chick drunk enough to where you're going to start being desirable. Remember this too, guys. This is an old saying, or I just made the fucker up. You can take the girl out of the club. You can't always take the club out of all girls. So if you're going to a place where you're just looking for get high people or drunk people, realize that's what you started with. I'm not saying, I've met some club people, some ladies in clubs that went, oh, fuck, you know, I don't want to do that shit anymore. This is really cool. And if it lasts a year, 2 years, 5 years, whatever the fuck, you know, that's great. But just be aware, you get what you fish for, you know? And the thing is, let me see if I got any, I want to look at this. These people breaking up because after a certain period of time, like what I was telling you about, people, their criteria changes. You know, it's like what they want. And if you're, you know, like if you're always going, well, no, this is what, you know, we agreed upon, blah, blah, blah. My life's different because I make them agree to everything in writing. And if they want to change it, they got to go in and make an amendment to it. And we have to both agree to it. You know, this isn't her decision. This is her request. Not all requests are answered. You know, I mean, I'll make up the decision when or not I'm going to do it. And I still go, are you interested in, oh, it reminds me. If you guys are really interested in my lifestyle, I wrote a book. Actually, it's a series of books. It's because it was so fucking long. It took me 2.5 years to write. It's called the Sensual Shamans Diaries. And let me clear something up so people don't go, oh, I know who this chick is. You're full of shit if you're saying that, because I made the characters composite, which means I took like each girl is 3 to 5 girls' journals, because every time I do these sacred journeys with them, they have to write journals. And I combined them into their personalities and all that other stuff. So if the guys are going, oh, I know who this is, he was with this girl from this time, they're full of shit. The point is, get past all that trying to identify the individual, but instead go in and read the stories. There's some really cool ass techniques about the methodology I use. And it's not about manipulating them. It's about, here's what I'm offering you. If you want to come into my world, here's what we do. If you don't want to come into my world, go find somebody else. See, the other thing is, women live in this entitled environment, most of them. And what I mean by that is women can walk into a bar and just put their arms in there and go, free pussy, and they'll walk out with more pricks than a porcupine. A guy walks into the same bar and goes, free dick if you want to suck. First of all, he's going to get his ass kicked probably and arrested. You know, the fucking thing is, if you want women to run your life, that's okay. Be calm with that, be into it, and live it, own it. There's nothing fucking wrong with that. But if you want to have your life balanced in to where you're a masculine man, you're a young man, and you want water women. You want women that are feminine, not women that are bitching and carrying on or putting you down or talking shit about you, but women that when you say do this or do that, they go, yes, you know, or they go, it depends on what name you use. I mean, in the BDSM community, in mine anyways, we use different names just for plausible deniabilities. Mine is Puppet Master or Puppet Master Steve. The initials are PMS because I'm such a fucking calm motherfucker. Anyways, let me see. Emotional sexual energy. Yeah, we already talked about that. Anyways, let me finish on the book. If you're interested in doing the book, Cliff might put a link down. It's not an expensive book. It's $10 for all 5. It's a pentology, which means it's 5 fucking books. And you can get it on Amazon. Let me see. I don't know. Cliff, do you have any more questions, or did I answer all the stuff that we want to talk about?
Well, I'll try and keep quiet for a bit and let you get a few words in here, you know. Basically, I have a couple of questions for you. I mean, I guess one of the things that I had heard about you a long time ago that I think the guys would probably find really fascinating to see what you say about it is, I remember, I think one of the famous quotes that Neil Strauss says about you is that you gave him superpowers. Maybe you want to talk a little bit about that, how, you know, what happened with you and him, and how someone else might benefit from what they might hear from you now.
Okay, Cliff, I can't talk about Neil because he was like a client. Even though he wrote about it, it's like it's violating his privacy. But I can talk in general terms if that's not. I'm not trying to be offensive, but I can't talk about personal clients.
Sure, no problem.
Does that make sense? Okay.
Sure.
All right. Basically, with people, when they come in, look at a lot of times guys think they're too skinny, they're too fat, they're too tall. I'm going to tell you, you're not getting laid enough. Because when guys aren't getting laid enough or they're jerking off, they fucking get neurotic. When they get neurotic, it creates a flow into what they call the sympathetic nervous system. And when they ejaculate, what ends up happening is they release prolactin. Now, if you're doing alcohol on top of that, that's a depressant, so you get even more pissed off. Now, then what happens is they go, well, see, I'm so fat. Let me tell you something. My kid hangs out with some pretty famous hip hop guys. Like he used to be roommates with a guy named Bo Rock from the Dove Shack. And some of these guys that come around there are like 350, 375, walking in with 4 or 5 tight looking chicks. I mean, I don't know what their arrangement was, but I mean, this shit about I'm too fat. It's like let me give you another example. This woman, she came up to me, she's like 43. Fucking rockin', knocking, motherfucking. She looks like maybe early 30s, and to the 20-year-olds, oh, that's old. Fuck you. I mean, this woman comes in, she's like 43, rockin' ass body, and she comes in and she goes, I've given my life to my career. It's like, God, do you know any guys? And I don't want any real nice guys, and I don't want to date any other doctors. What I want to do is I want to just date kind of a bad boy so I can just be a woman, And what I'm telling you with this, guys, is nothing is fucking as sexually attractive as being a confident, I don't mean a belligerent fuck. I mean, be confident. And if you don't know you're a good fuck, you're probably not a good fuck. Go learn some fucking skills, and if you have some lady friends, talk to them straight up. They'll tell you straight out what you need to do to improve the shit. But attitude and confidence. No, and let me change it around, guys. Have you ever gone out with some woman and she goes, hi, you probably won't like me because of this? I go, yeah, I won't. Excuse me. I probably won't like you because you're a whiny motherfucker. How about shut the fuck up? And they go, oh. I go, look it. And some of them, I have to throw water on the motherfuckers because they keep going back to this fucking thing. What happens is, neurologically, if you keep thinking negative thoughts, you know what you're doing? You're projecting negativity. I'm not saying act like you're having a great time when you're being torn up. Find out shit that you're fucking good at. Here's the thing about confidence, though. Get away from it. Whatever you focus on is what the fuck you're going to manifest. It's like this whole fucking shit of what was that fucking bullshit they made up? There was a phrase that used to piss me off when I heard it. Approach anxiety. First of all, there's no fucking such thing as approach anxiety. What happens is people get excited. They see a girl that's, like really hot, and then they go, oh God, she'll never want to be with me. Fuck you. You don't know that she doesn't want to be with you. I mean, you might think you're the great what's his name, Kresge or whatever his name is. Fuck that crusty old fucker. You can't read their fucking minds. I mean, look it. If a woman's making eye contact with you, I go up and say fucking hi to them. I mean, I'm talking to them all the time. Sometimes I even sell them a business card, and I do it out of fucking humor, But go up. Don't act as though, oh my God, I need my life. It depends on me meeting this incredibly beautiful woman. How about just going up and seeing her as a nice fucking human? And when you do that, you don't need superpower. What you need is you'll have the confidence in who the fuck you are. And the more you do that, the more strength and power and attitude you're going to have. I mean, my kids, they fucking... people go, oh, well, that's because they're like, with me, they go, oh, that's because you're Steve P. With my kids, oh, that's because you're Steve P's kids. My kids go, I don't know what they're brainwashing these fuckers with, but, it's like, these guys got to start acting like men. It's a man's world if the man makes it a man's world. Otherwise, it's the woman's world. And then they get to be fucking miserable. Here's the deal. If you see a woman, interview her. As though you're the one that's controlling that environment. If you're looking for a woman to be just one and only with you, you don't want to be out with a woman who wants to go in, at that point of her life anyway, who wants to be a porcupine or who wants to be into casual sexual encounters. Because you're going to be fucked up. You're going to feel miserable. It's going to feel like shit. Go find the motherfuckers. And here's another thing. Like, I know a lot of people that are into metaphysical shit and herbs, and you know, we do a whole, I mean, like, we have some real cool friends that like I got a couple friends that are curanderos and curandera also. And what ends up happening, pardon me, you guys are in a different part of the country probably. A curandero and curandera is the people who work with healing modalities of Mexico, South America, and Central America. They're healers. They use plant spirit medicine and all this. It's kind of like there's some real interesting stuff. Like when I've been doing a lot of work with these people that have been going through these just really nasty breakups with, you know, the person they thought was the love of their life. So we do the thing to mentally resolve them of their issues, but we also teach them like some of the tricks from like the curanderos and different spiritual pursuits, to where you can wash away that connection, and it does it instantly. And it's you know, it's like we also do things like which is probably a little beyond the scope of this fucking thing, but we also do different rituals to help cut the cords and the energetic connection to somebody that you were really close heart to heart with and soul to soul with, so that you can bring back your own energy and either make amends to the person you were with, or instead at least make amends to yourself and then find someone fucking else to be with. So here's the thing about dating and shit. If you're going to go out with somebody, make sure you're not going out with a long fucking face or fucking feeling like shit or, you know, poor little me, whiny shit. No, guys don't want to go out with women that are bringing that shit. And women, they don't want to go out with guys that are sniveling and whining about shit. The thing is, what you practice, you get good at. Find some shit you can be successful at. Like one of the guys that goes out on these herb walks, he goes, I don't know if women are going to want to go out on these herb walks. I go, that's right. You don't know. Women want to go on these herb walks. Next thing he goes, you know, that's a good idea. Maybe I'll go out and I'll see if I can do a local meetup. Fuck, he found tons. And he found other guys. He goes, well, I don't know. I'm trying to find chicks, not a bunch of guys. I go, fuck you. Bring the guys. Bring them all in as fucking friends. Build the social circles. And then, and this is the guy that teaches cacao. I go, teach them how to do cacao. All of a sudden, and charge $30 a person so all the supplies are paid for, and split the chocolate up evenly. You know, do it you start doing this shit, you build these communities. Then all of a sudden, a friend of a friend of a friend or whatever the fuck is going to be going, wow, because here's what it is. Instead of trying to do this shit like, wow, I'm going to go to the club, I'm going to be doing this, I'm going to be doing that, I'm going to put on this facade. Fuck you, be authentic. Quit faking the shit. You know, I mean, I've heard this shit about fake it till you make it. If that works for you, that's okay too. But what I'm saying is, why not find shit like down here we have people that go out and learn how to do sailing. And we have beautiful bays down here in Southern California where it's not all fucking like the Atlantic Ocean where it'll chew the fuck out of your shit. Also, we got fucking shit off of La Jolla Cove where we got these little things called leopard sharks. They can't even bite your ass, you know? But my kid took one of these lady friends of his out, and my kid's a monster on Snatch Chat, man. He fucking pulls them in, man. But anyways, he takes this one girl out. They go and rent one of these. What do they call them? It's not a canoe. Kayak, a two-level kayak, and they're about 4 feet of water, and there's these like 4 or 5 foot like leopard sharks down there, they can't even bite you. They suck on your toes before they do anything else. And he goes, wait a minute, and he tips the fucking thing over, hops back in and paddles away, and she goes, wait, there's sharks. And you know, it's like, go in and have fucking fun. Most guys, if they got a nice looking chick in a bikini, they're thinking, how can I talk her out of that? You know, like, how can I stick a finger in or a dick or whatever the fuck? Look it, go out and have fun with the human side of it. All the other stuff, I go, and you know, that may sound like real fucking stupid, and that ain't what you want. If it ain't what you want, go talk to some. Look, I know on this list, there's probably a lot of other guys who just teach you like one night stands and all that other shit. I'm not into one night stands. Thus, these 3 women that called me up that wanted to come over, I've got 3 women, and here's my deal with them. As long as they're not dating any other guys or women, they can be in the circle. You know, I mean, and then it's 3 individual relationships. The idea with this is, if they want to go back to their baby's daddy, or the other girl moves away and wants to get involved, that's fine. Just be straight up and honest. Because if somebody's not honest to me, that's fine. I don't give a fuck. I never again will fucking talk. I don't need to talk to them. And I don't hate them. I just cut them off. They go to zero. You know, they don't mean anything. It's kind of like a fart in the wind. You let it go, window clear, get the fuck on with it. Here's one of my quotes. A person experiences in the world what they hold in their heart. This is an old, maybe this is an old quote, or maybe I made it up. I don't remember. Anyway, a person experiences in the world what they hold in their heart. Trust is earned, respect is given, loyalty is demonstrated. Betrayal of any one of those is to lose all three. So understand this, guys. Be straight up with the people you want. If you want to be doing the sneaky like shit, or, you know, I mean, I'm not even into that. I don't do that. I mean, whatever you want in your love life, women are out there that want it. And no matter how nice and sweet they, I mean, these women, they act all sweet and nice out there in the real world. And when they want to be tied up, holy fuck. I mean, the stuff they talk about, like the one, this model, I mean, when you look at her and you go, I mean, I got video of her and I own the fucking video where she talks about all the shit she wants done. I'm just going, I go, can you believe this shit? And my two business partners going, we should put that on. I go, we can't do it. She's a fucking model. The thing is here's the other thing. Protect. I mean, I grew up in a time where we didn't talk about the chicks we were fucking. I mean, I know that everybody wants to do all this, and understand something. Having said that, people go, well, what about the videos on the White Tiger videos on YouTube? Those women wanted to do that to share their experiences with other women. And for doing that, we also gave them a free White Tiger Tantra session. So because I like giving back, I like to exchange. And all those women, I mean, like, people talk to me all the time about, dude, like, you know, you're still doing this White Tiger Tantra, you know, you're like fucking like you're an old dude, just like blah, blah, blah. You're a fat old dude, they tell me. I go, yeah. I go, well, whatever. They go, doesn't that bother you? I go, you can't bother me. And he goes, no, but that you're an old fat dude. I go, look it, I'm a heterosexual male. I don't give a fuck what you think, asshole. And the fucking reality is they get their panties in a twist because while they're busy trying to be, what's the word, troll, while they're trying to troll me or do this shit, if they put that time constructively into developing their skills and their personality instead of being a little fucking cunt, all of a sudden people would like them more. They'd like themselves more, and they'd get laid more. But the ones that aren't getting laid, they turn mean and they want to turn against the people. Like, look, if you want to be the schmoozer and all that shit, go talk to guys like Zan. I mean, I don't even know what Zan's fucking doing. I don't even talk to very many people because I have women flying in from around the world. I work with them, you know, and they want to fucking I mean, I just got off the 2-hour phone call with this lady who wants to start a women's group practicing how I teach sensual massage to women and self-sensual massage, you know? And I go, well, how about if I teach you and you can teach them? But the point is, I love doing this work. And when you get these women to where instead of just learning that they have a catcher's mitt for dick, all of a sudden they have this whole full body experience that they get to experience. And now these women are coming in and, you know, some people go, well, these women are over 30. They're old ladies. I don't give a fuck. If that's what your limiting beliefs are, that's fucking fine. You know, some of these women, when you wake them up, they're the most beautiful humans you're ever going to spend time with. The thing about this, and where it comes back to the self-confidence, is when you start learning how to care about the other person and how to awaken them. I mean, not just sexually, but sensually and spiritually. All of a sudden, the bond that's there is, all of a sudden, these women come up when people start giving them shit about how old I am or how young they are, and they come up with those wisecracks, you know, and I'm just kind of going, people think it's, oh, I hypnotized them and they did it. Not at all. They just go, I hate when people are rude to you like that, you know, or rude to our relationship, you know, and I just go, they're people who are probably just jerking off, you know. I mean, one girl I was dating was she's a beautiful ballerina, and I came walking in, and she turned around to go, oh, Steve's here, and these women have this weird fucking thing. They do this thing where she goes, who? They go, Steve, and she sees me. Now she's just got engaged, and she turns around and they go, it's Steve, and she looks at me and she does this. And I'm walking with some of my coaches. They go, how do you train women to do that? I go, I just get them out of where they were in a sexual experience into a sensual experience. And women will remember that. I don't go, oh, every time you see me, you'll lose your air and moan. I mean, and her husband-to-be just went, what the fuck was that? And I never fucked this woman. I just taught her how to bring this thing up through these different meditations and stuff, and she never forgot. And so whenever she sees me, it's like this too, guys. Once you teach women how to have not just great sexual stuff, but you teach them how to have incredible sensual thoughts and memories, you increase their vagal tone, which means like whenever they're stressed or tensed about something, all they have to do is, instead of going into the physical, revisit that fucking memory. And they can go into fantasy land, but it's a real fantasy. And then they can recall how it goes through their body, and it gets rid of all the fucking, oh, hold on. I got it. Fuck that call. They will get rid of all stress and tension. And here's why. If you also teach them how to release oxytocin in their bodies naturally, what'll end up happening is they will get rid of stress and tension and cortisol, which holds it in the body tissue. It counteracts it. It's fucking awesome. When you can start doing that, and then they can do it just with the thought because you help them get there, it blows their fucking mind. You'll be the rock star of their sensual and sexual diary. Let me see. Did you have other questions without using anybody's name, Cliff?
Okay. Well,
I'm sorry. I don't mean to sound rude like that. It's just...
no, I got the message. No problem.
Okay.
Well, one of the things I think maybe be useful for people to know about you is that, like when you first started getting interested in the metaphysical side of things, and a lot of the things that you teach now, I remember that you had said that you started off sort of because you heard about a lot of this stuff, and you didn't think it was real, and what happened was you went and checked everything out yourself, and you sort of discarded the stuff that didn't work and kept the things that did work. So maybe
it worked for me. That doesn't mean it doesn't work for someone else. It's like this shit about people, like people have heard of astral projection or remote viewing, whatever they want to fucking call it. Well, the indigenous just call it going to visit the natives. And what we do is, like, I used to think, oh yeah, right. Because if you ever read the Carlo Castaneda's books or anything about like even the shamans down in the Amazon, they can float, they can send their spirit, and you see them like a hologram, and people go, oh, maybe you just ate too much peyote. Well, fuck you. Maybe I did. Maybe I didn't. But the point is, the first time I did this shit where I learned to fly and I went to somebody else's house, it was fucking amazing. I picked up what my lady friend was wearing. I picked up and you can learn how to do it. It's real fucking simple. But back in a long fucking time ago, I started out in 1978 teaching past life regressions because I thought these hippie chicks are gonna fuck. They want to buy into this past life shit. I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna get a lot of sex. Plus, back then I was only charging 125 or some shit in a session. I forget it, and I think it was a 2-hour session or an hour session, whatever. But anyways. Weird story about the past life regressions. People started coming back for the same fucking thing to go to the same time zone, the same town, gathering up information. And then they went, and this is what convinced me there might be some reality to this. It happened with 7 different cases around the United States. Like even the one guy did this, his wife and him went into a joint past life regression. And they kept going back to the same fucking town, gathering it someplace, I forget where it was. But they gathered the information. They were Mormons. So they went to the Mormons, I think they call it a genealogy library. And they found out this town was no longer there, but records of these family members was. So they go, how did you know that town that's not there now? Because the freeway went through and got removed. But they go, how did you know this? I go, I didn't know it. I ask you these questions. Listen to the fucking tape. I'm saying, what do you pick up what you need to know? Who are your neighbors? And you help them be a little detective. So after this happened like 7 times, I finally quit thinking it was. I went to this new thing. Like, I don't care if you believe in past lives or don't believe in reincarnation and all that stuff. The point is, if you believe that people might have a problem, and you can take them through past life regression therapy and go back to find out what the cause of this problem was from a previous life, like karma and all that stuff, then they bring it forward and they can heal. I don't give a fuck if it's a dream, if it's real, or if it's total bullshit made up. If they get to be helped and solve their fucking issue or problem, if they no longer have to be, one of the guys stuttered because he was drowning or something. He no longer stuttered after this past life regression. Weight loss was like a real obese woman was one of the first ones I did. I was blown out by her. That was an interesting one. But the point of it is, I don't care if it's real or not, is what I came to terms with. What I came to terms is, if you can believe that your mind is beautiful enough to make up a metaphor, a learning story, so it can help you heal, accept it as just a learning story. And that's all that it is, you know. But don't mitigate how profound the change can be. Because sometimes all it takes is just one piece of information to be reformulated. And then all of a sudden, your life will change. And these people, the change held, you know. But anyways, and also go in, and it's also this about relationships. You know, instead of having limiting beliefs about, oh, she's a blonde, she's going to be this, or she's a that, blah, blah, blah. How about she's a fucking human? Go find out what it is that you want to share with her. And if all you want to do is fuck, be straight up about that. That girl right there may not just want to fuck, you know, or that guy if you're a chick listening to this, you know. And so go find someone else. But if you start out with being authentic and honest with who the fuck you are, not doing all these little stupid lies and bullshit. Because here's what I'm going to tell you. I have more fucking people go, well, wait, can you hypnotize her to forget I lied to her? I go, no, and you're an asshole. Why don't you just quit fucking lying? You know, it's a lot easier not to lie, because then you got to remember all the bullshit. You know, it's all these fucking ass bandits that, oh no, we'll never put this on Facebook. We'll never do that. People talk way too fucking much, you know, and the shit gets all the way back around to wherever you didn't want it to go because you're so fucked up and paranoid about it. How about be honest? I know that's difficult, but for some people, I mean, to me, it's fucking a lot easier. Just realize, don't lie, don't be unkind to people, and fucking just be straight up. Understand something. I'm a very blunt motherfucker. And if a woman's nasty or mean, let me give you another example about my bluntness. This fucking stupid bitch. I mean, she looked nice and all that. She was 26 or 27, but a little too fucking mouthy for my liking. She lied about being a submissive, I'll tell you that much. So we're driving along, and she's, you know, yapping and all this kind of shit. And she started doing this shit. It's like the seminar that we're doing. We're teaching you how to read what kind of women they are and how to pay attention to language patterns so you can, like, I listen to what they're saying, because if you're always talking, you only learn what you already know. So you listen to what they're saying, you watch their micro expressions, you watch their body language and all this. So this idiot woman is in my fucking car. My kid laughs at me when I do these things because he just stops the cars and throws them the fuck out. He's fucking funny that way. With me, I try to be a little bit more humorous about it. So she's yap, I this, me that, I want this, I want that. I want, you know what? How about you do us both a favor, shut the fuck up? She goes, excuse me? I go, no, is English your first language? I say, shut the fuck up. I go, you're fucking, my ears, I'm a musician. My ears are sensitive to bullshit. I don't like your bullshit. How about that? She goes, well, let me tell you something. Well-behaved women never make history. Some some bitch that married a president said that shit, Ellen or something. But I go, excuse me? She goes, well-behaved women never make history. I go, are you well-behaved? She goes, never. I go, there's a fucking little pullover with one of them little blue boxes with the telephone. I go, I pull the fuck in there. She goes, what are you doing? I go, shut up. I'm the pilot. You're the co-pilot. Pilot to co-pilot. Co-pilot, what tire's flat? She goes, oh my God, a tire's flat? I go, get the fuck out and look. She goes, well, you're the man, you're supposed to do that. I go, I'm the pilot. I got to be behind the wheel. Co-pilot, get the fuck out. She hops out. She goes, they aren't flat. I go, be careful of the cars coming. Look at the other side. She goes, they aren't coming either. I open the door. I throw her fucking purse and her phone and shit out. I go, fuck, there is a God. And I go hit the gas pedal. I drive off. Notice this. In my rearview mirror, My problem got smaller every mile I went that fucking way. Get rid of the fucking problems in your life, get rid of the toxic people, and you'll be happy. Here's fair warning. As soon as you do that, everybody owns a cell phone. I guarantee the next fucking phone call comes in is a yucky bitch. You know, I mean, and this is, girls, do it to guys if they're fucking giving you a bunch of shit. This is called Steve P's Harmony Restoration Protocols. I got a whole fuckload of these, man. It's get the shit and the shitheads out of your life and you'll live a lot happier. I'm telling the women to do this. I'm telling you guys, get the fuckers that want to fuck with you out of your life and you'll live a lot fucking happier. Cut the shit. You know, just, I mean, look it. We have problems as human, and as humans, we help each other. We help our brothers and sisters and, you know, people in our life. But that doesn't mean you have to take that unruly bullshit and that disrespectful shit. If they're rude or disrespectful, get them the fuck out of your life. They're toxic. They complain, they doubt, they give you shit all the time. Get rid of them. Anyway, when they call up, you know they're going to be yapping and bitching. They go, that's real funny. What are you doing? I go, I'm talking to a fucking moron. Listen, don't call my phone anymore. I've called the police. They're coming to pick you up. I told them that, you know, you tried to sell me drugs and you were a whore. And she goes, you fucking asshole. I didn't really call the police, but I just hung up and then I shut my phone off. It's like, I don't give a fuck. If you want to be, I'm a nice guy until I'm not. When they want to start being a rude bitch to me, I don't give a fuck if it's a guy or a chick. I try to walk away. If they want to get between me and walking away, then we deal with it. Here's one more thing. There's a concept in psychotherapy and hypnosis that they use called essentialization. Essentialization is people, and I hear this shit in the seduction and dating community. They go, I'm socially phobic. What was that? Not performance anxiety, approach anxiety. I have approach anxiety. I suck at women. What happens is when they do that, the essentialization part happens like I'm bad at being with women or blah, blah, blah. What you're telling your unconscious is you want to be bad at being, by repeating that shit over and over. What it is you're a person who hasn't developed the skills yet to be better at being with women. What you focus on is what you get. Remember, if you keep talking to yourself in negative terms like, I'm so fucked, I'm fucked because I can't this. No, you're just not, you haven't developed enough skills to be better at walking up. And part of that is, Cliff, you've done this too. When you came out here and you went walking around with my kid on that fucking time, you know, it's like you went up and like, I don't know, what'd you do it? A couple days, 3 days? All of a sudden, the last day you did it, he goes, Dad, I can't take this guy's money. This guy was funnier than shit. It's what it is you did it enough times that all of a sudden you came out and you became into that playful side. Guys, if you want to be real good at approaching women, quit thinking about if you're going to fuck them or not. Go up and just, you can edit this out if you don't like it. He told me you walked up to this girl wearing a bridal gown, or they were trying on bridal things, and you were just looking at her and she goes, can I help you? And he said, you said something like, you know where that dress would look good? And she goes, where? Falling off of you at the edge of my bed. My kid lost it on that. He goes, wow, I thought this guy was supposed to be shy. Fucking incredible. He still tells me, whenever I bring you up, he reminds me of that fucking story. But anyways, I don't even know if I fucking answered your question.
It's okay. You certainly gave some interesting comments, that's for sure. You know, why don't we, you know, maybe you can just, I guess, tell people a little bit more about, you know, if they want to follow up in terms of, you know, getting some of your books, or read your blog, or maybe if they want some training or coaching, maybe you can go into that, and let's.
Okay, all right. Here's the little advertisement. If you want to go to Kindle, you can look up Sensual. Look up my name, because it's a 5-set book. It's called A Pentology Curiosa, The Sensual Shamans Diaries. Just go under Steve Piccus at Kindle. I only got that one series of books. I'm reworking my website, right, my blog, but it's called sensualawakeningblog.com. And again, it's sensualawakeningblog.com. And I've just pulled all the articles off. But the articles are going to be really cool. It's going to be talking a lot about how to give women vaginal orgasms, what female ejaculation is and what it is not, the pros and cons of female ejaculation. Also, there's going to be some of the more metaphysical stuff. Like we're going to be hitting on stuff like chakra cleansing, stuff like Celtic soul gazing. I mean, I just pulled all the articles because I paid these guys that were supposed to be experts at copywriting and stuff, and they kind of screwed them up doing weird shit, but it was my responsibility and I let it go. So now I'm pulling all them off. But the site's looking pretty cool. Check it out. By next Tuesday or the Tuesday after it, we should start be putting I'll probably be having articles put back on there. And a friend of mine, a guy named Bravo, talked to me a couple months ago and asked me if I wanted to put together a seminar. And so, because most guys are interested in dating shit. You know, I don't think they're too interested in the spiritual stuff or the metaphysical stuff or the stuff that we teach from the Native American church. But he goes, why don't we do a small seminar? And, you know, so I'm talking with the guy that used to shoot the videos. He probably still does for David D'Angelo or Eben Pagan. And so we're talking about in June 15th, 16th, and 17th, doing a seminar out there. We still got to set the landing page and all that up. And if you're on Bravo's list, we're going to advertise it to Bravo's list. We'll let Cliff's list do it too. But let me see. And that's going to be another Becoming a Powerful Man seminar. It's going to be called Awakening Awareness, so that you can start reading the women. And if women are bullshitting you or whatever, you know, you'll be able to start picking up on it and paying attention to that intuition. Also, we do a little bit of targeted, like we find out what somebody's sticking point is, and I'll do stuff in the seminar. Oh, this first seminar in June it's going to be really small, only 20 or 30 people is all we're going to do, because I want to make sure that this is what people really want. I mean, I've got enough other people in my metaphysical community, but if people in the seduction community really want this stuff, then we'll do a bigger seminar in the fall. That's what we're thinking about. And that one I'll bring the live music, because we do like a full, we do shamanic drums and stuff like that in it. So, but anyways, if you're interested in that, write Josh at School of Steve P. And we also do Skype calls, but you also have to write Josh on that and put Skype session. It's $500 for a session. But write Josh if you're interested in the seminar stuff. We still have to, like I said, I'm still working out the details. Bravo said he'd come and speak at it. I might have one or two other people. And then we're going to do it for like Saturday, Sunday, maybe a Friday evening. But I've got to talk to Billy over in Phoenix before we do that. But the contact on that is Josh at School of Steve P. And put in the subject line seminar information. I think that's about it. Hey, also, if they have any questions, Cliff, if you want to do another one of these, unless that, if the people are really interested and want more information about the stuff, or if they have like some questions they fire off to you, I'll get back to them. You know, or we'll put it on a Cliff's List response, or however you guys handle that.
Sounds good. Well, look, I want to thank you very much for taking the time to answer all my questions, and I hope I didn't take too much of your time by asking all those questions and talking all the time. But
yeah. I'm the one who was talking all the time. All right. Talk to you later, man.
All right. Take care. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.